Indoor farming is a growing industry, literally, and I'm not talking about your greenhouse variety either. As Christina Quinn tells us, technology is making big changes to where and how we can grow our food.
Inside an old ginger ale factory in Millis, Freshbox Farms has 8 by 40-foot containers lined up, each connected to a water purification and air filtration system. Hard to believe, but inside every container is a hydroponic farm growing an acre's worth of leafy greens. Before we can even enter one, the company's chief plant scientist, Dean Falcone, and I suit up.
Chances are low, but the insects that can go after plants can be quite small.
Mm-hmm.
And
I could be a carrier?
Exactly. It's exactly that.
Okay. No,
not saying that.
Inside, rows of lustrous leafy green romaine lettuce greet us from trays of water. Each section is in a different stage of growth. So this is 2 weeks in. Okay.
About 2 weeks in.
Right. Same here?
Yep.
2 weeks, okay.
And on your right there,
Here.
getting to be about 4 weeks in.
These are 4 weeks. And how close to harvest are these?
These are getting pretty close. These are about 1 week away.
This romaine lettuce receives 16 hours a day of fake sunshine from LED lights and uses about 18,000 gallons of water in an entire year, a fraction of what traditional lettuce farms use. Hydroponic farming has long been regarded for its water efficiency, but critics of indoor farming like this say the cost to power the LED lights is hard to justify.
We are paying for a lot of electricity to power up a lot of LED lights. The thing that we always point to is the fact that the efficiency of the LEDs is increasing every couple of years.
Over at Greenline Growers in Brookline, Bobby Zucker and Chris Muddy plant lettuce seeds in a crop column. They bought this container from Freight Farms, a local startup that turns shipping containers into prefabricated vertical farms that require fewer LED lights.
We started in December of 2015, and that was when we got our first Freight Farm. And then by March, we were actually selling to restaurants.
Greenline Growers now has 3 vertical farms housed in a former taxi depot in Coolidge Corner. They grow leafy greens, radishes, and turnips. Freight Farms sells these containers, called leafy green machines, to budding farmers like Zucker and Muddy for $85,000. They also provide training and now an app that allows users to control settings remotely.
They've taken a lot of different technologies and aggregated it and made it fairly simple to automate it, and then we just do the farming part.
Tim Griffin of the Friedman School of Nutrition at Tufts says this latest iteration of urban agriculture could diversify the food supply as weather becomes more erratic.
It's another way that we grow food, and where it works really well, or if it works really well with particular foods, then we should be thinking about it. We should be thinking of, in a positive way, and then also always thinking about who has access to what and who does not.
Even though we won't be seeing corn or wheat grown in these things, that doesn't rule out strawberries and even rice to go with the ever-growing varieties of lettuce.
So this is a romaine.
Yeah.
So kind of inspect that leaf. And you can eat it too.
Oh.
I usually try to have people inspect the leaf.
But you know what? I inspected it with my taste buds.
That's absolutely important. That's part of our job.
Christina Quinn joins me now. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Jim. How is it?
It's actually tastes like a radish.
That was grown down the street out of a former taxi depot at Greenline Growers. Yes.
How is this different from growing in a greenhouse, for example?
Well, you'd be surprised. There aren't that many differences, except for the fact that they're much smaller. So you see how big the containers are. They're shipping containers. The technology is very similar because greenhouses have gone very high tech, but they're in a much more, I think, contained environment.
How often do they harvest here? More frequently than you do
so Freshbox Farms about 32 to 40 times a year. So they're harvesting almost every week. And then Greenline Growers, they harvest, depending on the crop, 17 to 23 times a year.
And do they use pesticides?
No one uses pesticides because you don't have to because you're in this controlled
What's
environment.
What's that reddish-looking thing?
So this, well, just try it. I think you should try it. Okay. It's a leafy green. I'll join you. I'll join you.
This will get stuck in my teeth. That's the only one. Oh, it's spicy.
Wait for it, though.
Oh, my God.
I know.
It is unbelievably spicy.
This is the Red Dragon.
Excuse me for spitting it out. Red Dragon what?
The Red Dragon. It's a mustard green.
Wow, that is fabulous.
So that's the other cool thing is that you can grow very rare things in these containers because...
Is there any limit to what they can potentially grow? Or
So the big field crops, you can never grow those. But there was actually talk about grapes eventually, like maybe 5-10 years from now. Grapes,
really?
Because they're always worried about pests, grape growers and stuff. So
did you bring wine or you didn't?
I could get some.
Okay, fine. Christina Quinn, thank you so much. Good to see you.